Come on, Marty. Good morning, buddy. You survived the storm last night. I got you the food you really want. There you go. Oh, you're a little wet. Not a lot wet, but a little wet. You want to try to come in now? Hi, I didn't mean to scare you with my electric toothbrush. Yeah, oh, nice cold, wet cat fur on my leg. They've all survived the storm overnight. Hey, Morris. I tried to let you come in too. Yeah, okay, I'm sorry, bud. Tux is up on the platform. We have a little small tree branch here. A lot of leaf debris down. That storm curved west and we were supposed to get up to 50-mile-an-hour gusts. Thank God I slept through most of it. Well, Morris almost came through the door into the kitchen this morning. Almost. Maybe one of these colder winter days. Here's where I had put the frog from Guardian Angel the other day. I don't know that that's his final resting place, but he's there for now. Here's this limb. I don't want to scare Morris and go hauling it off. It's not really hurting anything there right now. So for the time being, I'm inclined to leave it. Marty and Tux are enjoying their food up there. We're supposed to have light rain on and off all day, and they won't eat the dry chow once it gets wet, so that's why I put the food in the cat hotel. This one's not very hungry because he's been in the house eating. Hey, bud. Well, my bird feeder came down last night. Probably the wind. That was a pretty nice one. I'm sure it can be put back together. The rope probably rotted. The wind tugged on it just enough. Don needs something else to fix. Just kidding. I don't know when or if we're going to walk today. We'll see. It won't be through the woods if we go for a walk because, you know, just not really a good day to be walking under trees. So the storm shifted west last night, which means closer to us, which meant more rain and more wind. But then this morning when we looked on the radar, it looks like it wobbled back east a little bit. We're getting about what they told us we were going to get. Close. It was windy enough last night while we were watching TV. It was worrying me. Let's see how much rain we've got. It's just shy of an inch. I'm trying to make sure it's in focus. Yeah, it's just shy of an inch. I'm going to leave it for now. We were supposed to get rain on and off all day, but light rain, so I'm going to guess the stormfall total will be near an inch. Right now, the gusts aren't so bad. I feel the need to put the inflatables back down, but I will keep an eye on it. Don't want to damage them for nothing. Hey, buddy. Hi. I will refresh a couple of the water bowls. I got a lot of leaves and stuff in them, so let me get on that. I saw this out the window again last night. The little moon is very pretty when it lights up. Water refreshed, fountains filled, kitties petted. Looks, I did move some branches off. And the major cleanup so far is nothing more than blowing the driveway, so looks lucky so far. Let me go feed Panther and Gray. Good morning, Panther. Yeah, he was out here in his chair the whole night, not windy enough to scare him. I was very pleased to see he felt he could just stay in his chair. I think he was in this one on the end. Might have been in one more. I have not turned the heating pad on yet. It was, with these clouds, it was in the 60s, low 60s last night. The clouds held some of the heat in. Hey, buddy. But if it's gonna solidly be down near 50 into the upper 40s at night, the heating pads will definitely come on. It's a good boy. Oh, well, I'm pleased to see everything looking good out here this morning. I don't want to watch the trees too much though. It'll make me nervous. You gotta love it. I live in the woods and yeah. No, I wouldn't trade it any other way. I love the woods. Even poison ivy and yellow jackets and all, I still love the woods. I only think we're getting 30, 35 mile an hour gusts right now. We're not getting 50. We may have had 50 overnight. Right now it doesn't seem too bad. It may have gone just, you know, tracking 25 or 50 miles an hour or 50 miles one way or the other, west or east, makes a big difference on what you get. And like I said, last night it was doom and gloom at 11 about going west. And this morning's radar kind of makes it look like it's going back a little east again. So I was surprised to wake up to power. If we truly had 50 mile an hour gusts last night, I suspect we would not have had power. I don't even think it flashed because the stove, if it flashes, the stove gets reset, the clock. It's very sensitive. It's the most sensitive piece of equipment in the whole house, and I don't think Dawn had to reset the clock on the stove this morning, so I don't even think the power flashed last night. Good morning, Gray. Oh, you poor thing. You need your chicken, and I don't have chicken this morning either. Did you do okay with all that noise last night? You did have a nice piece of cheese yesterday. Here you go, honey. Good morning. Mom's going to come do editing with you for a few minutes, okay? We sit and have some snuggle time. Yeah. There's my girl, all happy to help me with some editing. Sam says she let him pet her yesterday and was quite happy about it. Drooling on him. She drools on people when she gets purring and excited. Hi, baby girl. This is what we do for fun on rainy Saturday mornings when we can't go out and walk. It's actually pouring out there right now. There's a yellow band coming across, going to be out for a few hours. Don's searching on Amazon for his stuff, and I'm over here searching on Amazon for my stuff. No TV yet, although I'm sure that's coming, and really nice relaxing rain sound outside. Hi, buddy. Just checking on you. You're nice and dry. Good. That's good. Just a nice steady rain. They put up a flash flood advisory. We've had a little over an inch. They said 1 to 2 depending on where you are, and they said up to 1 to 2 more depending on where you are. So it's just a nice steady calming ground soaking rain out there right now. Hey, a nice rainy day calls for an extra cup of special coffee.
Wait, cool.
So you went to the landfill yesterday while Sam and I was out, and we both noticed that the guys left after a few a couple hours, a few hours of work. So you studied it. What did you think they did?
They spread or apart the 3 power lines. In other words, it's all 3 phases run down that the road. They carry the distribution power. So they have 2 sets now of wires up there. So they spread them apart. So there's 1 set of 3 wires on the right side, and then 1 set of 3 wires on the left side in the typical triangular arrangement, you know, like 3 feet apart. So they doubled them up so that it's sort of like they combined 2 sets of distribution wires onto the poles, and they're spread apart.
I noticed the metal thing left laying on the ground near one of the poles. Is that what you call like the spreader thing?
I didn't see that. It's hard to say. Did you remember to look over there in the lot? Were there any poles over there in the lot? Because I didn't see any poles that got replaced. The T Up at the top, that normally there's the pole, and then there's a
crossbar
up at the top, and the top wire is on the top of the pole, and then the other 2 wires are on each end of the crossbar, right? Well, what they've done is they took the crossbar, and it's now much longer, right? And on it, they've kind of put a little T-shaped thing to hold the wire up high, and then the other 2 wires. It's
I think a crossbar is what I saw still laying on the ground near the one closest to the sidewalk side of the pedestrian crosswalk. Well, I filmed, I think, that the vehicles were gone when I came past in the lot. And I mean, weren't like parked there for the weekend or any of that stuff, but I didn't. Maybe we'll be able to see if there's poles in the video or not, because I didn't look for poles. I can't answer that question.
Well, like I said, it's like they got 2 sets of lines there now. But I swear they just ran the set of lines to that center pole that fed that subdivision. In other words, there was a recloser there, or a tap point to feed the subdivision. And that's as far as it is. I think they only basically work with 2 poles. And, we saw like 6 poles over there on the ground.
And they didn't replace the 2 they worked on,
and
so...
They did not replace the 2 that they worked on.
Let's assume they're not done.
Right. Maybe they left because of the weather. I don't know.
Yeah, that makes more sense that they left because of the wind.
Because the wind started kicking up. And we said that was awful suspicious, that they would want to work.
Yeah, they finally decided to work right when there were wind advisories.
Right.
Yeah. So I want to recreate the Lego Scooby-Doo Haunted Mansion 75904. I don't remember the official name. Is the tab next to it still? Mystery Mansion, of course. It's called Mystery Mansion. There's 2 books. It's, let's see how many, if we can see the number of pieces it is. It's from 2015. There's 3 books. Doesn't say how many pieces. It's not a super large set. I'd be surprised if it's over 1,000. You can't touch this set. You just can't. The Velma minifigure in particular, sometimes people sell it for as much as the rest of the set. It's ridiculous. I think I bought a sticker sheet, and then I bought this purple dome, this fancy roof piece. Anyway, I'm going to see how far I can get. Book 1 starts off with building the motorcycle, which I'm going to skip for now, and the greenhouse area over here, and the funky plant. And I'm going to start with building that. My Lego delivery that's supposed to be here today is not listed as out for delivery, and certainly is not listed as delivered. So rather than hold out for that a little later today, I thought this is next up. I'll just start on this because I really do want to finish my pumpkin house. The Harry Potter thing from the other day is finished, and I did set it over here on the table. I noticed this morning that I needed to turn the werewolf guy a little bit so that the little cloud, piece of snow or whatever looked better. But anyway, it is over here. Everyone on the Facebook Halloween Village group page has basically put together Hocus Pocus and added it to their Halloween display this year. So that's cool. Most of the people have displayed the minifigures out front versus in the building so you can see them. You know, I have there was 6 in the set, which is a lot for a set. And anyway. So I have a complete from new mystery machine with Fred, Shaggy, and Scooby in there. And I have this airplane from another set that was in something from Guardian Angel that wasn't new. It needs to be fixed. I never bothered to fix it. It needed a couple of parts, and I ordered the parts in there here in the Ziploc bag in the drawer beneath where they are that you'll recognize. Several of these are printed parts, and there's several extras that I think I just attached to the airplane, so I should fix that. I don't have Daphne, I don't have Velma, I don't have the vampire, and there's one other character like a ghost or something I don't have. I would love to have more of the minifigures, but they're just too pricey. It's just kind of ridiculous. It's like you can't touch this Monster Fighter set, but I built it from just plain bricks for much, much cheaper. And I'm good with that. So that's sort of what I'm doing here with the Scooby stuff. You know, if I ever ran into any Scooby kits at Guardian Angel, I would be ecstatic. First off, I'm not feeling very good. I made a cup of my special vanilla coffee. First hot vanilla, and I felt I felt too yucky to drink it, so I'm drinking some of the LMNT electrolytes instead. I don't know what's wrong. My body's upset about the antibiotic. I just don't feel good because I don't, or I picked up something. I don't know. I hope it's not the antibiotic. That worries me, because causing me anxiety. So, but I refuse to not work on my Legos, so I just warned Dawn that I wasn't feeling good. But on more interesting, channel-worthy discussion.
Why I'm not feeling good is they're changing our time of use after 5 years, 6 years. How long we've got?
We turned it on by the end of the year when we got Ruby. Right, 2 or 3 months later.
July or August 2017. So literally 6 years.
Yep.
They're changing the hours. So out with the new, and I printed out with the
old and in with the new. That'll be today's title. Just make it a comment, so at midnight when I'm like, oh God, what am I going to title today's video, I'll know what it is and you can remind me.
Right. The short answer is they used to have off-peak, on-peak, and shoulder. They are now going to on-peak, off-peak, and discount. They say the discount and off-peak are in lieu of, their word, they said in lieu of shoulder. Off-peak is all holidays and any time that is not on peak and discount.
Okay.
Okay, so off-peak are all holidays and any time that is not on peak or discount. Okay?
Okay.
On peak excludes holidays and is Monday through Friday.
Okay.
And discount are all days excluding holidays. So you got all that?
No, I'm totally confused.
Right. So,
tell me when I'm allowed to do the dryer.
Right, from 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. So you need to go to bed at midnight, get up at 1.
I thought it was 5 or 6. Only 1 to 3 is the super discount?
Super discount is from, right, so we're going to...
How are we supposed to dry the clothes, charge the car? You're going to have to get a dryer with a timer.
Right, well, so this is common from 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. Winter or summer, this is from 1 a.m. to 6. So in the summertime...
No big deal.
No big deal.
We go to bed kind of late, you know.
We are in bed by 1.
But it's also off-peak, is shoulders basically right before that.
Well, there is...
9 to 1 a.m. is off-peak.
Right. So...
I'm saying we could start it at midnight or... Yeah.
Right.
The dryer. I'm talking dryer, not the car.
Right. The car's
got a schedule.
The car's got a schedule, and we're going to start the car at 1 a.m. And if it finishes by 3 a.m. in the winter time, that's great. All right. And we can also charge now from, 11 a.m. till 4 p.m.
Sure.
In the winter time, and that's discount. So we can certainly charge during that time.
Now that neither one of us is driving. I'm not driving over 100 miles a day. It's kind of a mute thing.
Right.
But you will need, and usually you charge Jules on the weekend, need to or not.
Right.
So that still applies. But this really the dryer and the dishwasher and...
Right, the dishwasher is easy to hit that window because you can just delay it.
But the current dryer doesn't allow you, I don't think, to do a delay.
Right, well the important thing about the dishwasher is the dishwasher itself doesn't really use super amounts of electricity. The water heater, which is electric, although it's the heat pump, is what uses. So what you really want is, we'll probably start kicking off the dishwasher about the time we go to bed, because it uses hot water at the beginning of the cycle. In other words, we're going to have to work on that a little bit.
Oh my God, he's going to be finessing it for a year. I'm going to be hearing about it. No, what I'm thinking is after my shower, there's no hot water. So you're going to have to let the hot water come on at midnight or 1 a.m. and run for an hour or two, and then let the dishwasher run.
Something like that.
I'm thinking it's the reverse of what you're thinking, but he'll be having me try to take my shower at 1 in the afternoon.
Right. Well, you need to take your shower between these times right here.
Well, right now, the water heater starts making water at 8.
Yes, it does not
hot water at 8. It's off during the day.
Our water heater does not run during shoulder and peak.
Right.
It only runs off peak.
Honestly, we don't think about this that much. Don set it up, and there's plenty of hot water in that tank for anything I do during the day. If I decide to do 3 extra loads of laundry and an extra load of dishes, then I tell Don, hey, I need water for my shower. You need to kick it off sooner.
That's right.
And he goes in on his phone and he switches it. And that happens once every other month.
Well, I think we've done it like twice.
Yeah, it's really we're making it sound like it's more than it is. But there was a discussion on the Facebook group this week. It's like, and I think it's both Dukes now are syncing up on this new plan, not just Duke Progress. And oh my God, they're changing. It's fine. For some of them are like, finally they have time of use. Well, they've had time of use, people, at least Duke Progress. And maybe I think they're thinking this word discount means it's actually cheaper and convenient for them. And they were that's too inconvenient for me. There's no way we're kicking that on. And I basically said, we used to save $40 and it wasn't particularly inconvenient for our family. Now we're saving... Well, we went to saving less than 30.
Yeah. And
it was a little less convenient. And then now that we're not charging anywhere near as much, it's not as important. And there's no way we're saving that much because we don't have that much off-peak charging happening. And so...
Yeah, the only thing we're consistently still using about the same amount of is the dryer, which is, it runs about 55 minutes. Yeah. And that's not all, but that's like a 4,500 watt heating. I mean, it's pretty...
Yeah, and cooking, there's no way you can adjust cooking if you have dinner in the normal time. It's just not happening.
Right.
In the wintertime, we use less electricity to cook dinner, and in the summertime, we use more.
Well, to tell you, the truth is, I don't know what... that you could debate what they've done is increase the, quote, shoulder time, and they've decreased the off-peak time.
Right.
What you could debate. So... I can't tell you the rates because they officially said they're not going to publish the rates until the rates start, which is October 1st. So the rate schedule is not available on the website yet. The nice little time of use.
The chart is, but
they said check back on October 1st.
The 7-ish or the 9-ish, 12-ish, and 22-ish cents that we've been paying for the 3 categories is.
Yeah. Well, I know what we're paying. I print off the documents.
Well, if you have Duke as your energy provider after October 1st, whatever the next bill is, you really ought to pay attention.
You really ought to pay attention.
It's time to look at the bill. Besides going, oh my God, I can't. What was our last bill?
$330.
Don said that's the biggest bill we've ever had. And it had a rate increase.
There was, they increased the rates June 1st.
Okay.
I'm not complaining, but part of the reason why it was so high was about another $25 higher than the prior high bill, was because we ran the air conditioner in the garage and the dehumidifier because we're doing all that 3D printing, which is fine.
Right.
Don't mind.
Right.
But that probably was it because it was running during peak time. The whole,
not the printer itself, but to keep the air temperature nice and stable in there.
Yeah, the air conditioner was running.
But Don keeps it on 80 out there. It's not like it was on 68 or something.
Right, but to keep the humidity down, had to run the dehumidifier during those
Plus,
times.
The whole house dehumidifier is a hog, and we have to run it when we have to run it.
Right. Anyway, the point is... electric rates are going up. They're only going to get here. I'll give you a secret. I'll let you know. I can predict the future. Electricity is only going to get more expensive. The more wind and solar and renewables and all those things that we get, the higher the prices.
And we're trying not to complain about the cost of electricity because we know in California you're paying a lot more, and we're really sorry, but we only have what we're paying to go off of. And when your electric bill's usually like $230, and now it's up.
You can get rid of that little editorial comment I made.
I was just going to say that it just seems like a big increase for us. Just like I understand the gas is like $7 a gallon out in $6.50, $7 a gallon again in California.
Oh, it's going to go up too.
Yeah, okay. Well, going into any presidential election year, you can expect the cost of gas to be manipulated as much as possible, lower. So
that's right.
I hear what you're saying, but somehow, some way, I suspect it will come down a little bit before the election, and that's any presidential election year. I don't care what party's in power. That is not a comment on one party or the other.
I totally agree with that.
Yep.
The difference is Putin's over there is the one that's really controlling the oil prices now. What's going to happen in Ukraine?
Oh, stop listening to those dooms people on YouTube. Stop. Just stop. Texas dry after Don reworked the seam in the roof. He's happy. I can tell looking at the rain gauge now that we're up over 2 inches. It's really puddling up in the grass now, so we are under a flash flood, which, you know, just means don't drive through large puddles of standing water, people. Doesn't necessarily mean you can't go out if you're not driving like a maniac. Marty was down below in the cat hotel, but he's up high now. He must have got too hot. And I don't know where Stripe and Morris are. They could just be here, like underneath the window or the platform or something. Say it's not so.
So I looked at the bill that the 21st, literally yesterday or the day before. In fact, it won't go out until the 25th. So, but online you can look at it right now, and they've changed it.
The format
a little bit more. They've got it more detail, and now they are telling us, or showing on the bill, our demand kilowatt hours on peak, which was on August 29th at 4 p.m. It was 6.38 kilowatt. So we were using, that's a lot. That means the air conditioner, the dehumidifier, and probably the stove. At 4 o'clock, we were probably cooking because we've been eating a little
right. Johnny wasn't here then. So he was already in school.
Right, and then the demand kilowatt off peak was September 6th at 12:30 a.m., which makes sense. It was at 14.04.
Yeah, the dryer.
The car. Yeah, and the air conditioner maybe or something like that. So anyway, you know, it's just going to show you. I don't think, I'm going to make double sure that we haven't somehow been switched over to the demand TOU, TOURD, which is you pay based on your peak demand, how high of a number you hit, and so I'll have to look, but I'm thinking they're putting that on the bill now because eventually it's coming soon.
Oh wow!
Like I said, don't worry, electricity rates are only going to go up.
I completed the greenhouse. I found the sticker set, which is going to be very important. And I started on, I think this is the kitchen area. This is on the left, then there's the clock tower, and then there's this piece. But dinner's ready. It's 6 o'clock, and I'm going to stop probably for the night.